Are you interested in purchasing a home? If the answer is yes, then this video is for you. I wanted to record this video to empower as many people as possible who want to buy a home but may not know exactly where to start. And the other reason I wanted to do this is because maybe you have seen in your newsfeed where there might be a local home buying workshop or a seminar that's put on by a realtor or a lender. And you might be thinking to yourself, you know what, I really would love to attend that, but I don't have the time, or I don't want to go into someone's office and be forced into an awkward situation where I don't know what I'm getting myself into, and I would rather understand about home buying on my own terms and watch a video that I can pause and rewind and watch over again rather than having to go and sit through some seminar or attend a Zoom meeting. So if that's the case and you want to buy a home, then this is for you. It's the 10-minute home buying workshop. That's what I'm going to attempt to do today. Because how do I take the knowledge and the help that I've done? I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people to purchase homes. How do I take all of that information and put it into 10 minutes? Well, I answer a lot of questions. So what I did was I put down the most important ones, and I'm going to get right to it right now. Okay, so hopefully this helps. You be the judge. At the end of this video, let me know if you found this helpful. If there's anything that I missed or there's anything that you're still unclear about, please post it in the comments and I will do my best to answer them for you. So let's get right to it. The very first thing you want to do if you want to buy a home is you want to answer this question. Right now, as it stands right now, today, could you buy a home if you wanted to? Now, you might say, hey, you know what? I'm not ready to. I'm in a lease. I want to wait. Maybe you heard that prices are coming down, rates are coming down, whatever. But you still want to answer the question, could you buy a home right now if you wanted to? All right. And then the other thing is, if the answer is yes, how much of a home would you qualify for? Okay, if the answer is no, then what do you need to do in order to go from point A to point B? Because no matter what you decide to do, it's kind of like going into your car and putting in, you have your GPS. Well, in order for your GPS to tell you where to go, you have to put in an address. And an address could be home ownership for you. And the fact that you want to get there. So you need to know where you're starting and where you're going. All right. Now, one other thing I want to get to before we get to the components of home buying is that if at any time you would like for me to help you with it, we start with a soft credit check. So I can help you to purchase a home, even if you're not ready right this second, even if you want to buy in the next year, and let you know today what you qualify for. And if you can't qualify right this second, I will let you know what you can qualify for and do it with a soft credit check. So let's get right to it. All right. So when you're purchasing a home, there's three main key factors to buying a home. Number one is credit, income, assets. Let's go over each one in detail. Credit. First thing people ask me all the time, what is the minimum credit score needed to purchase a home? Well, guess what? You don't even need a credit score to buy a home. There is something that's referred to as a manual underwrite. You don't even need a credit score. If you have rental history, documented rental history, and you have some other accounts that are in your name that you've been paying on for at least a year or more, like a utility bill, cell phone bill, things like that, and rental history, you can qualify with no credit score at all. So that's number one. Number two, ask yourself, what is your credit score? Okay. And if your credit score is under 600, all right, the answer is you can technically buy a home if you don't have a score with a score as low as 500. But what I would rather encourage you to do is to figure out and ask, well, how can I get my score up so that I qualify for a better type of loan? That's a much more empowering question. The answer is you can buy with a 500 score, but you're going to need more money down. But I would encourage you to figure out where's your score and why is your score where it is. There's two main reasons. Utilization and payment history. Utilization means that what you owe versus the balance, you might pay everything on time, but your utilization, you might be maxed out on a couple credit cards, and that can really, really hurt your credit score. That's the fastest fix, by the way. I've helped someone, my record is 100 points in 14 days simply by paying some cards down to get their utilization down. The second thing, our payment history. If you have late payments, if you have collections, if you have charge-offs. Now, It depends on how quickly you want to buy a home. Can you dispute that stuff? Can you hire a credit repair company and get things removed? You can. But the thing you need to be asking yourself is how long is that going to take and how quickly do you want to buy a home? So again, when it comes to credit, ask what is your score, why is it where it is, and figure it out. Like I said, and if you need some help with that, I can help you. If it's utilization, pay it down. Maybe you're coming into some money, maybe you're coming into a refund of some kind, and you can do that. All right. So as far as credit, that's the main thing I wanted to share with you. Number 2, income. Okay. Here's what you want to know. Here's what a lender is going to look for. How are you being paid? Are you being paid hourly? Are you being paid salary? Are you being paid hourly? Are you getting a salary? Are you 1099? Okay, so how are you being paid? That's number 1. Number 2, how long have you had that income come in? How long have you been on the job? Have you been on the job for 2 years? Have you been on the job for 3 years? Have you been on the job for 2 hours? Are you watching this at work, from work, right? So the thing is that technically speaking, you normally need a 2-year history. It does not need to be at the same job. But technically, what a lender is going to want to look for is a 2-year history, unless you were in school, all right, or unless you have an explanation for why you weren't working the past 2 years. And then what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to look at how you're paid. Are you paid hourly? Are you paid by salary? Or are you self-employed? If you have a 2-year history, you should be fine. If not, you're going to need an explanation. Okay. The other thing to keep in mind when it comes to income is it goes off of your gross income, not your net income. So what your gross income is. And salary income is the easiest to qualify because even though it's not guaranteed per se, like anything could happen, right? You could decide you want to leave or something could happen with your employer. But the point of the matter is that salary income, as far as a lender is concerned, is the most reliable and consistent type of income. So if you have that, we can even help you get approved to buy a home on an offer letter. Let's say you live in one area, you want to go to another area, or you have an offer letter and you know that you're going to be starting, you can technically qualify for that. Okay, so far we've reviewed income and we've reviewed credit. And like I said, I know that this isn't like covering everything, but I wanted to give you as much information as I can in 10 minutes that normally would take a long-winded speaker 1.5 to 2 hours to go over everything, where you'd have to drive and be on a Zoom call or whatever, and I'm trying to help you with that. So if there's a specific question that I did not get to, put it in the comments and I will answer it for you. All right, the third thing is assets, and that means down payment. Okay, when you buy a home, there's 2 things you got to keep in mind. There's a down payment and there are closing costs. Down payment can be anywhere between 3% to 3.5%, depending on what your credit score is. You're either going to qualify for an FHA or a conventional loan. Or if you're a veteran, there's no down payment. Or if you buy in certain areas, you can qualify for USDA and there's no down payment at all. And as far as the closing costs are concerned, all right, technically the seller can help you with the closing costs. So I have literally helped people get into a home with no money. How is that possible? Because what they do is they either use a VA loan or USDA loan, or if you don't qualify for either of those, they use a down payment assistance program in conjunction with seller assistance. So it's possible to get into a home with no money at all. Now, sometimes when I give you some strategies, you might be like, oh, well, I heard, I was told, I thought, I was under the impression. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's simple. And that's when you hear about how people are getting into homes with no money, especially in this market. That is how they are doing it. All right. So to recap, number 1, can you qualify to buy a home right now? And if you do, how much can you qualify for? There's credit. We've reviewed income. We've reviewed assets. You don't need a certain amount of money in savings in order to buy a home. It doesn't work that way. There's a down payment needed. If you don't have that money for down payment, you can get a gift. You can get down payment assistance. There's ways to help you. And if you would like for me to help you, please schedule a call. I will help you, and there's absolutely no credit check at all. We start with there's no inquiry. There's no hard inquiry. It's a soft credit check. So I can help you without it affecting your score in any way. You can reach out to me. We'll schedule a call. And here's what I promise you. I will either get you approved right now, or I will show you exactly, step by step, how to get approved. Because here's the thing, I'll leave you with this. The thing that I am most proud of is not all the people that have allowed me to help them. I'm very grateful for them. It's the home buyers that have allowed me to help them to purchase a home who didn't think that they could. Bye for now. Be well. If you like this video, please consider liking it. It would mean a lot to me. See ya.